3024. Here I have reconnected the input subsystem breadboard previously removed to avoid confusion during exhibition of the controller subsystem. The planned input subsystem will consist of cascaded SN74HC165 parallel and serial out latching shift registers whose inputs will be divided into banks. The initial plan calls for 96 inputs. The first bank of approximately 32 may connect directly to various type of keyed inputs, including relays for rotary telephone pulse decoding and DTMF decoders. 3 more banks will have their inputs held low by pull-down resistors and driven high by the switching side of read relays, the coil side of which will be activated by various external sensors, switches, and other subsystems. The high level from the individual read relays outputs, besides driving the shift register's inputs high, will also drive individual SPST relays, whose outputs will trigger the NMI jointly or independently, depending on how close together their pulses arrive. This circuit arrangement, along with the polling handler, will allow for level changes of the inputs to be detected regardless of whether such changes occur simultaneously or independently. In addition, the interrupt handler will be written to allow itself to be interrupted up to a reasonable number of levels, limited so as not to allow too long a delay in responding to the original input poll. Secondary pollings will be stored in successive buffers and processed in first in, first out order. After an input buffer is complete, it will contain a record of all current input states, on or off. The next phase of the handler will compare the current state of each input with its previous state buffer, using less than, equal to, or greater than criteria specific to each input's predesignation, so as to allow each input to respond to circuit closure or circuit opening in one of 3 predetermined manners. 1. Circuit closure causes the input to be serviced. Circuit opening does not. 2. Circuit opening causes the input to be serviced. Circuit closure does not. 3. Circuit closure or opening causes the input to be serviced.